Okay, so today we're going to be talking about how you are going to find the title for your first or next beautiful children's book. So I'm going to give you 3 suggestions and take note. And if you like this, then make sure you remember to sign up for my newsletter, because you will find 2 more strategies of how to actually find an amazing title for your first or next children's book. So the first tip that I'm going to share with you, it's about trying to, simple as it sounds, do a research in Amazon. In Amazon.com, you can go and find lots of children's books and find out if the name of the title that you're thinking for your book, it's already been taken. Is there a similar title or even the same title? If there is one, then scratch it out. If there is none, then consider it. Write it on a piece of paper. Get about 15 ideas for a given specific title. Why 15 ideas? Because most likely the very first 5 ideas that comes to you will be somewhere the right combination to find the right title for your next children's book. The other thing you can do is, of course, go to ChatGPT or AI and find out, type and see, hey, is there somewhere already a name for this given title? And I'm sure that it will show you the statistics or logistics if there is actually a similar or the same title that you actually thought about it. So those are 2 things that it's very good to go and do that research to make sure that the title that you want is not being taken. So let's talk about some examples that I brought here. The Dot, one of my favorite books. So as simple as it might be, coming up with this title had to do with a lot of thinking. Why? Well, let me take a cup of coffee here. Which, you know, I love to take my mug, my favorite mug, to these lives and sip a cup of coffee. And I sip a coffee. So anyway, let's see. So the Dot, right? So how can we come up with a name? So let's think about that this is all about a book that is about art. It's about something that just organically, just spontaneously happened. This person right thing, this little character right here, he or she thinks that, hey, I cannot draw. I'm not an artist. And the assignment is, well, everybody's gonna have to draw something, because then they're gonna be sharing their drawings. Obviously, what it happens is that she or he draws a dot. And the point is that, look at this. It actually, the teacher embraces and celebrates it. She actually embraces and celebrates that the character draws something, even a simple dot. So most likely, by looking at this page and looking at the frustration of this cute character, like, you know what, I'm just gonna draw whatever, and then she ends up drawing that dot, then most likely, because of course we haven't talked with the author, which is Peter H. Reynolds, and the illustrator of this book, but most likely, you know, it was a given within the story. The title was a gift, and it was part of the story. It just happened. The only thing that probably the publisher or even the author had to do is find out if there was such a name, that it was registered, and then if it was not, bingo, right? it became the title of this book, The Dot. So I'm sure that because this was published a long time ago, let me see when it was published, if we can see when it was published, the date, but there was not such sophistication tools. This was published on 2003. So obviously we didn't have all the tools that we have today, like ChatGPT, to find out if there is such a children's book titled The Dot. But you can have those two ideas, okay? Suggestions for you to find out. Amazon.com, ChatGPT. Third strategy. This is a very interesting one. So this is from one of my favorite also authors, illustrators. I mean, you have to have these books. And if you want to go to the library and then look at them and borrow them and see them and appreciate it, that it would be fantastic. But if you want to buy them, I mean, they become your collectible items, right? And this one is from Eric Carle, and look at this one right here, right? So if you see the cover of this book without even showing you the title, I mean, I'm sure that the first thing that comes into your mind is, well, the character is obvious that it is a seahorse. Now the question is, what does the seahorse is doing? Is it like a picture book full of information about seahorses? Does it has facts? Is it like a rhyme book? Is it a funny book? So depends on the story of the book. Then you are going to be able to think about what title you're gonna give to the book. And on this one specifically, I'm not really gonna show you the book. I'm just gonna make it, interesting for you to get a hold of this book and be curious about it. But in this one, Eric Carle, right, names the book Mr. Seahorse. And it could have been him again, I don't have that information, or it could have been the combination of him and the publisher that agree on this title. This is another thing that I want to talk to you about it, okay? The relationship with your publisher or your agent if you are looking to have one. But in this case, the title is Mr. Seahorse. So what happens here is we are compounding words. That is the third strategy. Compounding words, okay? So one could be Mr. and the other one Seahorse. And then when you put it together, then voila, you get your title. Your beautiful title right here of Mr. Seahorse. And the thing is that is 3 strategies that I'm sharing already with you. Compounding words from your story can be a very interesting way of actually make it happen and find out and figure out about a catchy, interesting, funny title book for your first or your very next book of children's book. Now, talking about relationship with your agent or your publisher. Let's say that you have some ideas about your title for your book. That is great. So if there's an open dialogue between you and your agent and or you and directly with the publisher, if you're going to go that route of traditional publishing, then it's going to be nice to hear your ideas. And then from there, a publisher has a big department. A publishing company has a big department, right? They have a sales department. They have a marketing department. They have the editing process. So they all work together in combination and they all come up with the common sense of getting the best title for that book because they are betting on your idea, they are betting on your story, and what they want is they want that the book sells easily, that it actually has good rate or good ratio on selling, right? So then they will invite you to sign another contract. And basically, that is an amazing thing. So if you have that open dialogue, you may come up with some suggestions, but by the end of the day, they might be choosing the right one. And then it's up to you if you agree or not. And usually, when you are having a partnership with a traditional publishing company, the best commonsensical thing to do is to really have that publishing company agree to have an open dialogue, because that relationship is going to take you further, okay? And it's going to be an amazing, healthy relationship. And if you're going to be going by the other route, which is publishing your own book, self-publishing, well, then you have the freedom to decide, and you're the only one that at the end of the day is going to choose that title. So what happens is, by self-publishing, you have full control over your very own project. So now, I'm sure that you want to know what are the other 2 strategies to come up with your first or next beautiful children's book title. So don't forget to sign up on my newsletter, which is full of tips, ideas, implementations. I tell you about events, international, national events, book fairs around the world, so you can know in advance where you want to go next. And I give you a lot of information about children's books. So I hope that this was interesting for you. If you liked what you heard today, what you actually learned today, then type the number 1, so then I know that this was something interesting for you. And I appreciate the people that are here watching this live, and just start doing this exercise of listening and also doing. And when I invite you to type the number 1, is because that you're taking action. That's your first action to take in order to move the needle and to see your project happening. So if you're watching this replay, just comment replay, and I will see you next time. Have a great day, and the link to my newsletter is on my bio. See you then. Take care. Bye.